This story explains how a national obsession became a national health hazard. In 2026, Canadians drink more coffee than ever, yet we consistently choose brands that have replaced quality beans with chemical fillers, mold toxins, and corporate greed. Thinking that Double Double is a patriotic act is a mistake. We pour liquid dirt into our bodies while believing it is premium fuel. From the iconic red cups that betrayed us to the grocery store staples hiding dangerous secrets, these are the 9 Canadian coffee brands you need to purge from your kitchen immediately, alongside the 2 brave holdouts that remain safe to drink. We start our list with a pantry staple that has fooled millions with its nostalgic jingles. Folgers isn't just bad coffee, but a masterclass in chemical processing. They claim to be mountain grown, but the reality of 2026 is far uglier. To keep prices artificially low, Folgers relies heavily on Robusta beans, a cheaper, bitter crop that is naturally higher in caffeine, but also much more prone to defects. To mask that rubbery, burnt taste, the beans undergo flash roasting processes that strip away natural antioxidants and often replace them with synthetic flavor stabilizers. The main issue is what you can't taste. Mass-market coffees like this have been repeatedly flagged for higher levels of acrylamide, a chemical byproduct of high-heat processing that health agencies have warned us about for years. You aren't waking up to the best part of the day, but to a chemical cocktail that barely resembles the coffee bean it came from. We are exposing the entire industry today. If you want to know what is actually in your food, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We don't take sponsorships from these companies, so we can tell you the truth. Now, let's continue. At number 8, we have the zombie of the Canadian coffee world, Country Style. Once a legitimate rival to the big chains, this brand has deteriorated into a sad relic of stale beans and vanishing locations. The tragedy here isn't just the shrinking footprint, but the complete abandonment of freshness standards. In 2026, walking into a Country Style often means being served coffee from beans that oxidized weeks ago. Oxygen is the enemy of coffee flavor because it turns the oils rancid and the taste acidic. Because their turnover rate has plummeted, those beans sit in hoppers for days while absorbing moisture and losing every ounce of character. You might feel sorry for them, but your stomach won't. Consuming oxidized coffee oils can lead to significant gastric distress and heartburn. It is a brand running on fumes, selling you a product that died long before it hit your cup. Second cup lands at number 7 as a case study in confusion. For decades, they tried to be the premium Canadian answer to Starbucks, but constant ownership changes have left the quality control in shambles. The inconsistency here is the danger. One day you might get a passable brew, but the next, you are drinking over-extracted sludge that tastes like battery acid. This happens because corporate restructuring often leads to slashing training budgets. In 2026, without skilled baristas who understand extraction times, you pay premium prices for burnt beans. Over-extraction draws out tannins and bitter compounds that harsh on your digestive system. While they slap fancy labels on their bags, the beans inside are often mid-tier commodity crops disguised as specialty roasts. They charge you for a luxury experience, but serve you a gas station product in a ceramic mug. Number 6 is Timothy's, a brand that sold its soul to the single-serve pod revolution. While they still have cafes, their grocery store presence is dominated by K-Cups, which is where the problem lies. Despite years of promises about recyclability, the reality in 2026 remains grim. The plastic used in these pods can leach microplastics directly into your brew when heated. You are essentially drinking a tea of heated polymers. Beyond the environmental disaster, the coffee inside these pods is pre-ground months in advance. Once coffee is ground, it loses 60% of its aroma within 15 minutes. Timothy's packs this stale dust into plastic coffins, ships it across the country, and charges you a fortune for the privilege. It is the ultimate triumph of convenience over quality, and your health pays the price for that shortcut. Nabob used to mean something in Canada. Founded in Vancouver in 1896, it was a symbol of Western Canadian industry. Today, it is just a label owned by J.D.E. Peet's, a massive European conglomerate that treats coffee like gravel. The tradition they market is a lie. Nabob is now notorious for using commodity-grade beans, the stuff that specialty roasters throw away. These beans often contain higher defect counts, including insect damage and fungal infections. To hide these defects, they roast the beans to a charcoal black and call it bold or midnight. It isn't bold, but burnt, to hide the imperfections. That heavy ash-like aftertaste is carbon, masking the lack of actual coffee flavor. You are buying a history lesson that ended 40 years ago, packaged in a bag full of burnt defects. If you have a tin of Maxwell House in your pantry, you might want to check it. This budget-friendly option is cheap for a terrifying reason. Owned by Kraft Heinz, this brand focuses on volume rather than safety. In the world of mass-produced coffee, there is a hidden enemy called ochratoxin A. This toxin, produced by mold, grows on coffee beans when they are dried improperly on humid concrete floors, a common practice for the cheap Robusta beans Maxwell House buys by the ton. While regulations exist, spot checks are rare. When you drink this mud, as critics call it, you aren't just getting a caffeine hit, but potentially ingesting mycotoxins that kidneys struggle to filter. The bitterness you taste isn't richness, but the flavor of poor processing and potential contamination. Saving $3 on a tin isn't worth the risk to your internal organs. Coming in at number 3 is the brand that lines the pockets of the Weston family, President's Choice. Specifically, the Decadent and their gourmet blends lack transparency. PC Coffee is a white label product, meaning Loblaws buys it from various suppliers depending on who is cheapest that month. You never truly know where the beans come from or when they were harvested. One month it might be decent, while the next it is bottom barrel scrap. In 2026, with the cost of living crisis, Loblaws has been aggressively cutting costs, and quality control is the first victim. Consumers have reported finding small stones and debris in the beans, which signals poor sorting at the source. This is what happens when a grocery monopoly treats coffee like a widget instead of an agricultural product. It is a gamble with every bag, and the house always wins. Number 2 is Van Houtte, a company that has turned greenwashing into an art form. Owned by Keurig Dr. Pepper, they have spent millions convincing Canadians that their plastic pods and industrial roasting facilities are eco-friendly. But in June 2025, the Canadian Competition Bureau finalized strict new guidelines against these exact kinds of deceptive claims. Van Houtte's marketing often suggests a small batch artisanal history, but the reality is a massive industrial operation that pumps out millions of plastic cups that still end up in landfills, regardless of recyclable labels. The recyclable claim on those pods usually comes with an asterisk so small you need a microscope, as most municipal recycling plants in Canada can't actually process them. You pay a premium for a clear conscience, but all you buy is more garbage. It is deceptive and cynical, and the coffee itself tastes like burnt plastic. And here we are. The #1 coffee brand to avoid at all costs is the one that claims to be Canada's identity, Tim Hortons. The fall of this giant has been tragic. Since being taken over by Restaurant Brands International, a Brazilian-backed conglomerate, quality has been slashed for profit. But it gets worse. In June 2025, a Quebec judge authorized a class action lawsuit regarding the disastrous roll-up-to-win glitch, where customers were told they won boats worth $64,000, only to have the company call it a technical error and offer nothing. This comes after the privacy scandal where their app tracked users even when they weren't using it. The coffee is often cited as brown water by critics because it is weak, acidic, and inconsistent. They trade on your patriotism while treating you with contempt. From frozen donuts to privacy breaches and legal battles, Tim's isn't Canadian anymore. It is a corporate extraction machine. Now, let's wash that bad taste out of your mouth. The first brand you can actually trust is Kicking Horse Coffee. Based in Invermere, British Columbia, they have held the line on quality. Yes, they were acquired by Lavazza in 2017, but the key difference is that they maintained their strict adherence to 100% organic and fair trade certifications. This isn't just a label, as it means their beans are grown without the synthetic pesticides and herbicides found in the mass market brands we just listed. Because they use high-elevation Arabica beans, the risk of mold toxins is virtually non-existent. The flavor profile is clean, bold, and distinct because they haven't compromised the roast to hide defects. In 2026, finding a widely available grocery store coffee that refuses to use chemical shortcuts is rare. Kicking Horse is the exception that proves the rule. Our second safe haven is Balzac's Coffee Roasters. While other chains expanded too fast and collapsed their quality, Balzac's took a slower and smarter road. Started in Ontario and backed by smart capital, they treat coffee as a culinary product rather than a commodity. They roast their beans in small batches in Ancaster, Ontario, which ensures the coffee on your shelf hasn't been sitting in a warehouse for 6 months like the big guys. Their amber roast is a perfect example of what coffee should taste like, rich and complex, without the burnt charcoal flavor used to mask bad beans. They also prioritize direct trade relationships, meaning the farmers get paid properly, which results in better care for the crop and fewer defects in your cup. It is sophisticated, actually Canadian, and most importantly, clean. This is what the Canadian coffee experience should be. The truth is bitter, but your coffee doesn't have to be. We have allowed these massive corporations to hijack our morning rituals by trading our health and our money for inferior products wrapped in nostalgia. But in 2026, the power is back in your hands. Every time you bypass the red cup and brew a pot of organic, ethically roasted coffee, you send a message that quality matters more than convenience. If you want to stay ahead of the food industry's tricks, make sure you are subscribed because we have many more labels to investigate. Drink better and stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.